Who inspires you? I think if I asked that question to a lot of people, you would get some pretty interesting answers. Some people would say, "Oh, my dad's pretty cool, my siblings are pretty cool." But beyond that, a lot of people would say, "Oh, this celebrity, that famous person, that rich person. I want to be like them. I want to go to the moon." And then I realized, when I was a kid, I said I wanted to be LeBron. I didn't actually want to be LeBron, but I wanted the emotions that felt like being LeBron would feel like, on top of the world, confident, rich. And I think that all of those traits were so superhuman, only attainable to LeBron, and somehow by getting them, I would be happy. And so many people fall for that same trap. Once I get rich or if I get famous and this and that, all those things are going to make me happy when in reality, all celebrities portray the look that they're happy, that they love their life. That's how they make money and stay famous. But in reality, a lot of them aren't actually happy. You see so many celebrity divorces. You see so many people in low energy, negative areas, clubs, drinking, partying. We don't actually see into their life, into their mind. How are they feeling? And I realized something yesterday while coaching. I was coaching kids. This specific session, it started off with very young kids, like 2 to 3 years old, and I'm just trying to get them to listen to me and have some fun. We're kicking a soccer ball around. And they're trying to take the ball away from me, and I just look in their eyes and they're just having the time of their life. Just playing with this ball. They're in the moment. They're not thinking about the nap they had on the car ride there. They're not thinking about what they're gonna eat when they get home. They're not worrying about anything. All is that's on their mind is the soccer ball that they're trying to take from me. Similarly, later into the session, I was working with like 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. So I set up some hurdles that they would jump, 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 and then some pylons they would run through, and it would be like a circle. They would just run in a circle doing those drills, screaming, ah! At the end of the drill, they give me a high five. I would look at them, they're like, I, you know, it's like the best experience of their entire life, just running in a circle. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how innocent those kids truly are. You know, people ask the wrong questions or people look for the wrong things. They think that because other people are happy, what they have must make them happy. If they're smiling, they're happy. But they never ask themselves, when was I happy? What makes me happy? And when you think about your happiest times in life, it could be right now, but a lot of people would say, I was happier as a kid. I was more innocent as a kid. I enjoyed simpler things as a kid. And that's true for me. I enjoy just kind of being a kid, going outside and doing some random stuff. And now I love my life, but it's a lot more difficult, I guess, for me to find happiness, true, like blissful happiness. And so, if you were to ask me who inspires me, I would say a kid inspires me. Those kids I was training, I wish I could be them for a second or two. I wish I could just run around in a circle and just be happy with that. I wish that and I know how that sounds. I know it sounds extremely ungrateful that I'm not happy with the life that I have. And I do think my life is enough. But there's something about those kids, man. The happiness that they have, it comes from within. And for so long, I've been trying to find happiness externally. Even people, I know a lot of people who try to find happiness externally. They think if I make some more money, if I cut this out of my life, cut that out of my life, certainly those things help. Money can't buy happiness, but money can buy more time with your family, convenience, things that you like to do, video games you like to play. But it can't buy the habits that you need to build, the drive that you need to live a good life, a lifestyle that you like, and not just fit in where society tells you to fit in. And whenever I try to achieve that internal happiness, I also realize that I achieve a level of internal sadness. And I have to get both sides of the coin if I want it. And so then we enter a tough dilemma. Do I choose that happiness and find that and be okay with the sadness? That is tough. There's an analogy where when you open your heart to love someone, you also open your heart to being crushed, to being hurt. You sign up for both. Either it works out and you're living your best life, or it doesn't work out and you hit rock bottom because that person breaks your heart. It's the same thing with life. If you open your heart to be happy, life can also just take that away and crush your heart and make you sad again. And some people are resilient. They're able to come back from that sadness, which is a skill. It's a habit that people develop. It's a very nice habit to have. You can you always know like what to do, what things will bring you back to your center. But when I think about my best days were never the happy days, the bright days. I remember my high school prom, it was fun. We were dancing and this and that, and I was talking to all my friends. I had so many friends in high school, oh my God. But still, prom just wasn't on the life happiness scale. It was here. It was here. But on my like, enjoyment scale, it was just here. I felt like the calmer days, the eating lunch with my friends, that peaceful vibe. Felt waking up to school or going to basketball practice or reading my book before I go to sleep so I can fall asleep and wake up for school the next morning. Those moments I liked more. Even now, when I wake up in the morning, I like taking my time, being slow. When I'm making these videos, I like taking my time. And I really think that peace, those days where I have peace, is way more valuable than the days where I'm happy and laughing and joyful. Because that peace, those peaceful days are so rare. I work so hard. I have to not scroll for a week. I have to journal every single day. Um, Exercise for like 6 or 7 days, and one day I wake up and I feel good. But it's so hard to get that consistently. But with peace, peace, with peace also comes chaos. And also both sides of the coin. And so if you were to learn from this video, I would leave you with three messages. One, external things can't buy you happiness. Just because a celebrity says something is good, just because they seem like they're happy, doesn't mean that it's right. Number two, ask yourself what makes you happy, peaceful, confident, whatever emotion that you're seeking. Don't seek objects like money, cars, people. Those things aren't going to make you happy. But ask yourself why you want those things. There's an underlying emotion. And so that's how you get those things. You get the emotion. How can you get that? Where have you felt that before? And thirdly, whatever emotion you want, just remember that you're also signing up for the other side of the coin. If you want peace, you're signing up for chaos that you're gonna have to deal with, that you're gonna have to organize so that chaos can turn into peace. If you sign up for happiness, you're gonna have to learn to deal with sadness accordingly so you can be happy. If you want confidence, you're gonna have to learn how to deal with insecurity so you can eventually become happy. If you want riches, you're going to have to deal with living with nothing and being okay with nothing before God says you are ready to be rich. And so, yeah, have a great day. Take both sides of the coin.